If you're thinking about starting Watcher of Realms or restarting a new account, there's something you need to know. Over the last month or so, Moonton has completely revamped the early game, adding new summoning banners, extra rewards, and even a free legendary hero at the end of your first week. So today I want to show you exactly what's changed, and more importantly, what I think is actually worth your time. So long story short, I've been playing a couple of begin accounts over the last 6 weeks or so. You can see here on this account, I am near the end of month 1, and I have recorded all the footage for this, which I am going to release as a little series for you guys, so do stay tuned for that. But it has really helped me to see the changes that they have implemented. And the biggest change by far is the beginner summoning system. There are now 7 beginner summoning banners, which you can see above my head here. You can see the core heroes, which are the legendary heroes, the epic heroes that are accompanied by them, and the day that they are unlocked on your account. Now, there are 5 normal beginner summoning banners, 1 limited banner, and 1 ancient banner. Each of these banners lasts for about 3 days. There are some exceptions, but overall, I think it is a huge improvement because there are some genuinely strong heroes throughout your first month that you are able to pick up. And we're going to have a little chat about those heroes, but before looking at each banner, there are 2 things you need to know first. Firstly, the Sun Wukong banner that opens on day 11 is a limited banner, which means you are guaranteed to get Wukong within 200 summons, and so you need to make sure that you save enough summons in order to get him. Now, if you manage to clear chapter 8 on both normal, hard, and expert, you get about 500 summons in this game. And of course, there are other events that happen every week. There are also things like event sign-in bonuses where you are then able to get additional summons, but just keep that in mind that you are going to need 200 summons. So I definitely recommend being careful with your gems until the Wukong banner. The second thing to note is that these are still standard rate banners, just like these banners that pop up for everyone else on the weekends where it has the rate up for the heroes. The chance of getting said hero is still this 0.5% chance because it is not on what's called the 2x event, which is a different type of banner. So when you are early game, to maximize the amount of legendaries that you get, I still recommend the 2x banner. But if you're close to pity, one of these targeted banners becomes a lot more attractive. And what do I mean by pity? Essentially, if you do 180 summons without a legendary hero, your chance of getting a legendary ramps up until your 200th summon, where you are guaranteed to get a legendary. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get the banner. It just means you are going to get a legendary. And then obviously the boosted rate up means that the core heroes or the legendary heroes that are targeted will have a increased chance of dropping. There is also a thing where if you miss the banner hero, you have an increased chance of hitting one of the banner heroes the next time you hit legendary. And so typically you are able to get one of the banner heroes within about 3 legendaries. But that's sort of when you're doing a lot of summons on a banner, which typically you're not doing very early on. Now, banner 1 is Hatset and Twyla. They are both part of the Nightmare faction. Hatset will essentially carry wave content across campaign, gear raids, and void rift for you early to mid game. And then Twyla is a single target boss damage dealer. Very solid, will help you progress. Does have something called a bond skill with the hero Hex. Bond skills give additional skills to partnered heroes in the game. But yeah, Twyla will definitely help. And both of them being part of Nightmare is fantastic because you do pick up Wrath, who is the epic lord at the end of week 1, as well as Volker. Now, in terms of the epics on that banner, I would definitely chase in terms of try and get them. Even if you're not trying to get one of these legendaries, definitely try to pick up Baron. He is a Nightmare tank, but he has second life, which makes him amazing for Gear Age 2. And then arguably the best early game healer is Vortex for keeping your team alive. He is also on the rate up. So essentially day 2, you're going to be summoning anyway. The epics are fantastic, and hitting one of those legendaries is going to help with your account. Now, on banner 2 is Hex and Fercy. Hex is a single target magic marksman. Like I said, he is bonded with Twyla, but Hex is just a beast. He is a boss killing nightmare. He's absolutely fantastic. Very hard carry if you are able to pick him up, especially in Guild Boss. He's just one of the best boss killers in the game. And then Fercy is a healer with AoE damage reduction, which makes Gear Age 2 so much easier. And then he also has Inspiration, which is a buff to your DPS and can help with their damage output. In terms of the epics, Hollow is the real prize here, and that is because she is a rage regeneration healer, which helps your heroes get their ults out more, do more damage, everything else like that. She is the OG guild boss healer, but also can bring her into any piece of content. She's going to help your healer, and paired with Vortex, the two of them can pretty much carry all your healing needs early game if you don't have any of the legendary healers for a while. So my verdict is this just is absolutely excellent value banner and well worth summoning on. And of course, when this pops up, you can get very excited because it means you are going to get your hands on Wukong, who is a limited. He is just an incredible hero. He is one of the best single target damage dealers in the entire game. Boss killer. This guy carries an account, which is why it is so important to pick him up. And the fact that binner accounts can get him, absolutely the way to do it. It also lets you do something called pity manipulation. So with the pity manipulation, essentially what you are able to do on these limited banners is get a free legendary. Now, if you look in the details, you will see here in the pity timers that you are guaranteed a legendary by your 200 summon, but you are in pity from 180. So essentially, because you have to do 200 summons on this limited banner to guarantee the Wukong, what you're able to do is essentially get to the point where you'd be hitting that 180, swap to another banner, get a legendary, and then come back. And if we look here on this account, we are 7 into pity. So we'll round that up to 10, and then we're going to go to 170 on this banner. Now, obviously, if you hit legendary beforehand, that is a different thing entirely. And then you can sort of go to 199 on the Wukong banner. And then, yeah, now, obviously, we are going to be going on to a second limited hero for this. But essentially, with the Wukong beginner stage, you are going to have this beginner summoning number 3, which is with Silas and Vienna, and they are really good to swap onto. So essentially, that will happen on day 2. And so you can do some of your summoning on Wukong to get to the point of pity, and then you can wait. But you also don't have to pity manip on that banner. If it lines up with another weekend like this, you can absolutely go for something else like that. Okay, so unfortunately, or fortunately for the video, we are exactly doing a pity manipulation. So we are at 170 on the banner, which means we're at 177 into pity in total, which means we can swap onto the next banner and hopefully within this 10 hit gold. Now here, it'd be really cool if we are able to get both Dao Chen and Wukong, but even though the limited has a rate up chance, it doesn't, you're only guaranteed to get it at 200. So we'll see if this works out. Extra smassy. Oh my goodness, it's a Venoma. It's a Lord. You know what? That's not bad. That's not bad, actually. And I think that's something that's really important to understand on a free-to-play account is essentially we are going to be very careful with our resources, and we have about 100 summons left. So the best thing to do here in this very unique situation is we're going to be using that pity. So we're at 20 now to build on this next limited. If there was not another limited hero here, it would be just get Wukong in 30, because if you were to hit gold in 30, you'd be like absolutely over the moon and be like, oh my goodness me, I'm fantastic. So of course, the banner that you are most likely going to be pity manipulating on is going to be Silas Vienna. Now this is the OG pair of the game. They were the original beginner banner hero, and to be honest, they are just fantastic. Now they are a bonded pair, and similar to Hex, Silas is a single target boss nuker, but he has piercing damage or normal damage instead of magic. Now the one thing to say is that his damage effectively doubles when he has Vienna, and up until very recently when another hero called Gushi was introduced, he was hands down the best physical single target marksman in the game, no questions asked. So even still, brand new accounts getting him, he is going to help a lot. And then obviously his partner Vienna, she is an AoE magic damage dealer with execution, and she's just fantastic in anywhere that you need AoE magic damage. The chase epic is Dolores, and she is the OG inspiration unit in the game. She is able to boost the damage of your DPS fantastically. She has been beaten out by a limited legendary hero called Dao Chen, but essentially until that point, Dolores is going to boost your team as much as needed. Malvira is on banner number 5, and she is a solid tank. She's got some interesting stuff in her kit. She's not one of the best tanks. She's nice. She helps. But the real prize on that banner is Elowen. Elowen is a phenomenal healer. She has rage regen capabilities in her kit. She also has cleanse, which helps you in APOC, and just has incredible healing. So yeah, she is just Fantastic. And then banner 6 is staying in the esoterics, and you are going to be able to pick up Vaughn, who is a single target marksman. You can really see that they are pushing guild boss heroes, and that is because of how amazing the daily rewards are there. And then Narissa is similar to Fercy in the fact that she is also an AoE damage mitigator, single target healer with some buffs in her kit, but she is newer than Fercy, and so she has a little bit more to her kit than he does. Speaking of cleansing, there is also the Epic Nasande on this banner, who is helpful. Her and Medan are the 2 epic cleansers that you can get. And then the other epic to be going for is Maul, who is a long-range AoE marksman. He's just great. I love him. He's fantastic. He's very helpful in Gear Raid 3. He does drop off, but for progression, he's fantastic. Now, all of those heroes are on what's called the blue summons or normal summons, and the final banner, which is Nastia and Erlang, is with something called ancient summons. Now, early game, these are very difficult to get a hold of. Typically, you get them every week from the high levels of boss content, from Void Rift. So when you're getting started, there's not there, but you are able to get ancient exclusive heroes. And the 2 ancient exclusive heroes on Rata are Erlang Shen, who is a very interesting flex defender in the fact you can build him as a tank or as a damage dealer, and Nastia, who is an esoteric lord, and she is the queen of the poison trio. She is phenomenal. This chance of you having enough ancient summons to hit legendary by this banner is quite low if you're free to play, but should the unexpected happen, getting either of those heroes is an incredible start. The second big addition is something called the Recruits Pass, which I have a still of behind me. It essentially asks you to complete daily missions, which you can roll over and obviously do at a later date, but you get amazing rewards every single day, and at the end of it, you get a free legendary. This card will go into your inventory, and you can see here the heroes that are available. With this card, there is a chance to get a legendary Lord hero, which at this point would be absolutely amazing for an account, but there are also some very solid options here. I will say this, none of the heroes on the list are like, oh my goodness me, people get super excited about, but in all honesty, pretty much any one of these heroes is going to help you with early game, some more than others, but it's essentially a free legendary hero. And then down in the event hall are going to be the final thing to talk about, which is the Dragon Crusade. Now, the Dragon Crusade, there are 2 of them. This account is here on the second one. They last for a good few days each. And essentially, there are individual quests where you can get some gold, some energy, and some quick clear tickets. And then shared quests where you're able to get some diamonds and summons. But essentially, what you are trying to do is get as high a guild boss score as possible against people who are hitting. And obviously, the higher the difficulty that you can do, the more points that you get. Even if you are not hitting very much, you are still able to get a summon and a stamina pot, which is better than nothing, and it's pretty cool. And then obviously, first place, you do get some extra stuff with crystals. The daily rewards you get from Guild Boss are absolutely fantastic, and so this is something you're going to be wanting to work towards anyway, and I do have a couple of guides out there to make it a lot easier for you. Overall, I think these changes are fantastic. They make the early game a lot easier in terms of giving more resources, getting more legendary heroes, and also having access to some fantastic heroes to summon on, because to be completely honest, your first couple of weeks in this game, you are going to be summoning nearly every day. And so the chance to get some of these heroes on the banners is just a lovely added bonus. My biggest tip would be to plan your summons, especially up until you get Wukong, because in my opinion, he is the only one that I wouldn't want to miss out on. And so build around that and you are guaranteed to get off to a fantastic start. So yeah, do let me know in the comments below if you are brand new to the game or if you are picking up a new account this time around. And stay tuned for this free-to-play series, which will be coming in the next month or so. So that is all from me. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and the next live stream. So until then, take care and bye for now.